I'm going to take you through in this video a technique that I've learned through reading a book, which is called The Emotion Code, which is by Dr. Bradley Nelson, and there's a couple of videos that he's got online which I'll link to as well that you can watch as well. But yeah, a fantastic book, quite thick. I think you can get it on audiobook as well and Kindle book, but actually a remarkably powerfully simple self-help technique that you can learn yourself and then become proficient in it and just repeat it and get more in depth into it using kinesiology muscle testing. There's another video that I'll send a link to that is about how to self-muscle test that I've already filmed. So there's 3 techniques and 3 approaches that you can try with that. And that underpins the doctor's kind of approach. So kinesiology muscle testing is verbally asking questions to your subconscious mind, your body giving you a strong or weak result, and then you actually using that testing system to release emotions that are trapped in an energetic field that surrounds your body, that's electromagnetic in nature and is a torus shape, okay? And that's where your emotions are kind of stored, almost like a trapped frequency, like a noise frequency. And if there's a situation in your life that is painful, perhaps in childhood or even adulthood, that if it's not resolved, then emotionally that might be stuck there and explain you kind of sometimes feeling, I don't know why I react to that when someone says something or this situation occurs. It can be because the original emotion's trapped and it's still unresolved. I helped somebody stop a teeth grinding habit whereby they needed a gum shield every night, and they'd done so for 15 years. In 20 minutes, once I showed her the technique, the next day she spat out the gum shield and she's never worn it again. I mean, that sounds amazing as to how simple it is. And the book itself's got some amazing anecdotes and stories about how powerful other people have found this technique. So it really is really nice and simple. It's about learning kinesiology muscle testing, practicing it, see if it works for you. It might not work for everybody. You've got to be open-minded, relaxed, not get your ego in the way and sort of pre-guess what the outcome or the question's going to be. You need to really emotionally disattach and just think of yourself like a computer operating system, that you've got your own operating system, and your operating system should really be running for your very best interests, particularly at this time when we're all facing challenges in 2020. So you can ask your body questions impartially and just go, is there something there that I need to remove? And I'm going to take you through that now. So the key thing is just really finding a picture which is of the chart. So if you Google emotion code chart, you'll find this online and you will see this on here. And so you'll notice there's 3 columns, 2 main columns, column A and column B, and then there's 6 rows, okay? And the way that you do this is that you muscle test, which is in the other video, and you ask yourself nice, clear, simple questions. So because we're in May 2020, it could be, your clear question could be, do I have a trapped emotion in connection with how I feel right now? You know, you might feel a particular way because of what's going on in the world right now. Or you might want to resolve something that's, you might want to say, do I have a trapped emotion in connection with my feeling of fear? But it may well be that your feeling of fear is actually composed of a number of emotions that are trapped in your energetic body. So, or you can, like the teeth grinding example, somebody in that situation said, do I have a trapped emotion in connection with my teeth grinding? Nice and clear and specific. Or if you've got any other ailments, that you can sometimes try this out and just see what your body says to you. See whether there's any trapped emotions, and then you can find it, and I'll show you how to do that. So you don't start off looking at the chart and analysing the chart and going, oh, I might have this trapped emotion. You don't do that, okay? You're going to be open-minded, and if you practice the kinesiology muscle testing, you're just going to be looking for weak and strong responses, okay? So the first question, so I'm going to do a hypothetical situation. I'm going to use a same repeating phrase. Do I have a trapped emotion in connection with how I feel right now? Okay, just for a point of example, because my subconscious mind will know how I'm feeling right now. Okay, and that might be relevant for everybody who's sat at home and wants to test this out. So if I say that particular phrase and I muscle test, and I get a strong response that I do have a trapped emotion in connection with how I'm feeling right now, then the next question I want to muscle test is, and I'm just going to, I'm going to do this one here, okay, which is the double circle one. I may well go, is this trapped emotion in column A or column B? And I want to compare strong and weak results, okay? So if it says if I can't break the circle here, and that's my strong muscle test response, then I will know the trapped emotion that is most important to remove first of all is in column A. So that means we're going to discount column B and we're just going to be thinking, okay, it's in column A. So then we need to figure out what row is it in. So the next question to muscle test is this trapped emotion in an odd row? If it's in an odd row and it's strong, then I know that it's only going to be in 1, 3 or 5. And if I go weak on that question, then I can say, is this trapped emotion in an even row? And if I get a strong result, then I'll know it's in 2, 4 or 6. Okay, so we're narrowing it down. We're not even looking at the emotion code chart at this time. We're just asking simple questions, okay? So therefore I can then go, if it was odd, I can then go, is this trapped emotion in row 1? And if it's in row 1, great. We then know that actually we're now going to focus on the emotions that are in that row 1. So for point of example, column A, row 1, there is 5 trapped emotions. So you therefore then need to muscle test 5 different questions. So you're going to go through the first emotion, the second emotion, third emotion, fifth emotion, and you're going to use the phrase, is this trapped emotion? And then you're going to insert the emotion that you've got. So you can find that on the internet or in the book, okay? And I will post it below as well, okay? So for example, the 5 emotions in column A are abandonment, betrayal, forlorn, lost, and love unreceived. So you're going to muscle test each of those, and you're going to be trying to compare strong and weak, okay? Or weak might just be a bit of that, but it's going to be distinctly different from the strong. Then once you've found which one it is, or you might even get a strong result for a couple of them, what you want to do is remove that trapped emotion, which is nice and simple. Now I'm going to show you it with my fingers first, because it requires you not to go out and buy something, but you can also use a therapeutic magnet, which I'll show you in a minute. But I want you to imagine you've got a meridian line going down the middle of your head, okay, to the back of your neck. And what you need to do is, one, you've got the trapped emotion and you know which one you've got to remove. You simply, conscious-mindedly, you're going to repeat out loud, or you can do this in your head, but normally it's best to do this quietly in a room on your own. You put your fingers like this and you run them down the middle of your forehead like this to the back of your neck in the middle, and you repeat out loud, I joyfully release this trapped emotion of, and let's say it was the first one, which was abandonment. So you would go, I joyfully release this trapped emotion of abandonment. I joyfully release this trapped emotion of abandonment. You keep on saying that. Try and emotionally connect with that statement, thinking about how positive it would be to get rid of that emotion. It may well be that the emotion that's come up, actually you go, that's really relevant for me. Once I did it with somebody and they said it's almost like you've read my mind, that the trapped emotion that we'd found. So it might bring up some emotions, but you don't tend to re-experience that emotion, because you're just getting rid of this. So it's not like you're going to re-experience if it's an emotion that's strong for you or a difficult one. So just have a go and see how you get on. So you do that. The book says about 3 times. I would normally suggest a bit more and try and put some emotion and involvement in this to go, yeah, I'm really pleased, right? So normally the signals are that people sort of yawn afterwards, and they'll notice, a little sort of relaxation of the back or arms, and afterwards, what you want to do is, once you've done it enough times, and like I said, you could also use this, which is a therapeutic magnet, which you can buy on Amazon for about £3, and you could run it down the middle there. And the reason why you're using a therapeutic magnet is we're electromagnetic in nature. We have a torus field that surrounds us, and this is where your emotions are kind of stored, and this is how you're releasing them, by conscious focus, of your conscious mind. So once you've done that, we're then able to, it's important, we test again. So we have to ask the body, is this trapped emotion now 100% released from all levels and all dimensions? Okay, so I'm going to repeat that again. So you would get into your muscle testing pose, and you would say, is this trapped emotion of abandonment 100% released from all levels and all dimensions? Now, if that goes weak, then you haven't properly released it. So you then return back to the releasing process. You say it a number of times, the phrase, I joyfully release this trapped emotion of, and we used the example of abandonment. And so you would do that again, and then you muscle test again. Is this trapped emotion of abandonment 100% released from all levels and all dimensions? And if it stays strong, then that's your muscle test response telling you that emotion has been released from your electromagnetic field. Okay? That is the beautiful simplicity of it. So then you could go back to the original question, which was, do I have a trapped emotion in connection with how I'm feeling right now? Because you might want to test and see whether there's any more trapped emotions, and it may well be there's a lot of trapped emotions getting triggered at the moment because of everything that's going on in the world. So you may need to do this process again, and then it will guide you through different columns, different rows. You find a different trapped emotion and you can release it. And so sometimes it can feel like, once you've done this, that things are physically lifted. You almost notice something like feeling like it's lifted off your shoulders. It's an interesting experiential approach. And it's something that, if you're stuck at home, it's simply worth having a go at trying and see how you get on with it. Because, like I say, if somebody can stop teeth grinding overnight with it, that's a fantastic sort of interesting thing. So you can remove trapped emotions that are connected with stressful events from your past, whether it's your childhood, your teenage years, or relationships, trapped emotions connected with people, circumstances, all sorts of things. And this is when Just Feel Good gets involved, because you can chat to us about the different creative ways that you can use the emotion code and psych-k to transform your perceptions of events in your subconscious mind into ones of peace, of tranquility, so that you're not being emotionally triggered all the time, and that your electromagnetic field is nicely tidied up and looked after by yourself, because you've now got the keys to your operating system with the kinesiology muscle testing. So I hope that all makes sense. I've tried to kind of keep it nice and short and clear. It can get more complex, but I want to give you enough valuable content that you can try this out at home. And if you've got any questions, email me at graham@just-feel-good.com, or my UK number is 01635 869 730, or my mobile number is 07906 956 035. And keep watching my channel. There's also going to be a playlist on my channel that you'll be able to link to watch other emotion code videos, other psych-k videos, so that if you're stuck at home and you want to do some self-help rather than sat watching the TV, this is definitely an opportunity that you've got. And if you need some coaching and facilitation from me at Just Feel Good, then I'd love to hear from you about how I can help you. Take care. Thanks very much.